photo shoot.
Roger.
Fuck that bitch, try put the fee on it. Best put the.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to Kesus. This is my channel, Kesus World Collections, and today you're tuning in with us for our Keep Up podcast. I am your host, Kesus, with a special host, Carlos. Now, this is the podcast, The Keep Up, where we keep up with all your daily pop culture, fan fiction, comic books, anime, things of that nature, all right? We don't like to try to go off the course of what we like to talk about. So today should be very clean, very straight to the point. We got some stuff lined up special for y'all today. Little more things organized, as you can see. It looks better. Excuse the sweat droplets, a little hot in here, but we're going to go ahead and get into our first topic, all right? Now, our first topic today is going to be something, we're going to start off good, all right? It's going to be X-Men 97. And
I had to rep something.
So he already got the shirt on, so today we had to talk about our the great show, our childhood, coming back and delivering on all notes. I don't know about you, but I had this for my show of the year so far.
Oh yeah.
Both animated and live action. I'm excited about House of Dragons, depending on how they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
But this X-Men 97, I think they hit on every note. I liked, quick thoughts, I liked how they portrayed each character. Cyclops is my favorite character in X-Men, second favorite character in Marvel, behind Silver Surfer. But I think that the way they displayed him was good enough. It wasn't exactly like the comics, but it was so close to the comics, it was damn near perfect.
Yeah.
I like that Wolverine was not in the spotlight. I like that he was just a member. Like, they're all members. They all have their roles. We're going to get into the timeline of when everything happened. We're not going to go episode by episode. We're going to kind of group them all together. But just
like a whole.
Yeah, just thoughts at first. What are your thoughts at first on that show?
Well, I definitely have it up there with my top shows of the year. I don't know if it competes with it. I think I like it more than Shogun. I don't know if you've been watching Shogun.
Yeah, I did.
Like Shogun was like that show was like right up my alley.
Yeah, it was
so I was like okay, but I feel like X-Men 97 was hitting everything that my like the fan in me loves about this type of media.
Hell yeah.
It was so good, so good that every episode I would just be excited. Every week I'd be like, it's X-Men Wednesday, let's get it. Like my wife knew, she was already tired of hearing the theme song because I never skip it. Never. You can't skip it. You can't skip it.
If you're a fan, you really can't skip it. Now, we can run down what were some of your favorite moments in that show, because I felt like every episode had a moment.
Yeah.
Every character had a moment. I think some had more. I think some characters were kind of highlighted a little bit more with their moments, but I think every character had a moment.
Yeah.
So for you, what really stood out throughout the season? You don't have to go by episode, but throughout the season, what moments were to you?
I have a few in my head. What I liked about the old show, it was that it didn't try to be anything that it wasn't X-Men. The X-Men it's a comic book. Mm-hmm. They made it a show. It was catered towards kids, kinda, but what I liked about the old show was it was cheesy, the way they would talk, the way they would it was like come to me, my X-Men. You are never gonna see a real human saying that kind of stuff.
You wouldn't say that in live action.
Live action, that would not fly, but the show you can get away with a bunch of those lines that characters say, and the first time I felt it was I was like okay, this is the cheesiness that I like. It was when Madeline Pryor became the Goblin Queen.
Yeah.
And she got her outfit and she was like, I am the Goblin queen. I was like, hell yeah. And the way Storm talks.
Yeah, Storm
like,
talking, it was crazy. I was like she's
sense of time, heed my come. I was like, bro, nobody talks like that.
Nobody does.
But that's what makes the show so good, that it takes the good things and like it adds more to it.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel like, it makes you feel good to watch it. Like, I was watching it and I was so hype, like all the time, every episode. Like,
so like my moments, right, are very character based. So Cyclops, when we first get introduced to him, when they're in the warehouse.
They're in the warehouse and he's like flying around the floor.
And people always, the joke about Cyclops is he only shoots a laser beam. People don't really know he's an excellent hand-to-hand combatant.
Yeah.
He, his visors, you know, he can bounce things off of each other and create things, openings, stuff like that. Like, if he had super strength, it would be OP. If he had like a super soldier serum, he'd be OP. It'd be a problem for people.
Unstoppable.
They don't realize that's how Cyclops is.
He's like, a problem without it.
Without it. He's a problem without it. So imagine if he had something like that. So to see him beat up on guys who really don't stand a chance, like they need a Sentinel armor or they need something to beat him, like that's designed to kill mutants. That's designed to kill him. I think that was one of the moments. Seeing how you can use his power for him to propel himself off, you know, to fly by really fast. Like, I think those things are like
something about that scene that stood out to me was like, because obviously, like we know Cyclops.
Yeah.
So we're like watching him do all that, and I'm like, bro, finally.
Yeah.
And like they did like a little nod to how people like treat Cyclops. Like they're like, take his visor off. And they take his visor, and he's like, "Oh no, my visor!" Not, and he opens his eyes and it blows everything. Like he's not like helpless.
No, he's not. He's not helpless at all. As a character in general, people think just because he goes up against these big bads and he'll get beat on. Like you have to realize, Cyclops is a regular guy. Like physical wise, he's a regular. I mean, he's in shape. He's one of the most in shape people, obviously. But physical wise, if he goes up against an Apocalypse, he loses. If he goes up against a Doctor Doom and all his hacks and stuff, he loses. Like Cyclops is just as beings, and he works as most as he can with his powers. Another Cyclops moment when they're in the jet and they were falling. Oh. He's worried about all his teammates.
And as soon as everything's good, he's like, I'll see you on the ground.
And it's just like, hold on. It's just like, hold on, when did we get here? And it's just like, all right. And like you said, the moments where, like, to me, my X-Men, I think that's where it was better as an animation, where animation thrives, because you can do things in an animation that
you can get away with all those kind of things
that won't do, right? Now, I do think that the way Cyclops fight in this would be great to see live action instead of him just standing there and just doing the blast and stuff. I do think if we get a live action, get somebody. My dream role, fan cast is Henry Cavill. Oh. I think that he's been in enough hand-to-hand action roles where he can do hand-to-hand. If you know, some training, whatever. He's tall. He's about 6'2", what Cyclops is. He is a bit bulkier than Cyclops. But there are earlier runs where Cyclops is big.
But I mean, if you put like Henry Cavill on that role, you see him as the leader of the X-Men.
Yeah, and
like he's tall, he's imposing, and imagine him with a visor.
Yeah,
and just like getting ready to like go down and fight. Like
my only thing is, he was Superman, so some people aren't going to see him as Cyclops.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I think that in the role of Marvel, the X-Men played such a pivotal role where you can kind of get away with that with Cyclops. Cyclops, if you guys don't know, Cyclops in comic book runs is a problem. Like, for the Avengers, he is a problem, with or without the Phoenix Force.
He wrote, like, a letter to humanity.
Yeah.
And he sent it to the White House. And the president, like, I think it was the president that, like,
it was the president.
Read it, and like it said basically like we're here, and we're gonna help you as many times as we can, because this is our world too, but don't get it confused.
Like he told the Fantastic Four, Sue Richards and Reed Richards, your son can come over to us. Like he literally said, hey, yeah, your son. he belongs with us, not y'all.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Imagine somebody is telling you your own kid is like, nah, he's ours. Nah, fuck out of here.
One other cool moment.
We're gonna pause. We had a little break, but go ahead and get back into it. We're talking about the X-Men '97.
Yeah, one of the cooler moments, in my opinion, was they gave like Omega level mutants, like they made them strong.
Yeah.
Like he was like give them the forecast, bro. You can't tell me that scene was not insane.
Yeah, and then all the Sentinels Omega level, and it's like.
And then the music.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
I feel like this season gave the characters who were misused in Fox justification.
Yeah.
Like
definitely.
they really showed. These mutants are a problem. It's not just Wolverine. Wolverine's a problem in his own right? Wolverine, people should know his story. They should know what type of fighter he is. His mutant capabilities. He's OP in his own way. But if you put him against some of these people don't know in the comics, Wolverine loses most of his battles with Cyclops when they fight. He doesn't win a lot of his battles with Cyclops.
Yeah.
And when you think Wolverine has an edge, Cyclops always comes out on top. With Storm is an Omega level mutant. In the Fox movies, we would never know that.
No, never.
We would never have guessed it.
She was getting like backhanded by mutants that I was like, bro, that mutant would never touch you.
In the first X-Men movie, when they both got beat by Toad, when Cyclops...
Oh, I was like, there's
when Cyclops and Storm both got beat by Toad, I was like, you're bullshitting me.
Even when I was a little kid and I was watching that movie with my dad in the movie theaters, like my dad is the one that introduced me to the X-Men because my dad is like an X-Men fan. Like he loves the X-Men. Like I remember he took me to the movie theaters and I already knew about the X-Men. I already knew who Storm was. Like I was a little kid, but I knew. And I remember I was watching that movie and I saw that, and I remember I looked at my dad. I was like, "What just happened?" And my dad was like, "I don't know." Like it's just a movie.
When I was younger, I was like real young, so I didn't realize it back then, right? I wasn't even in comics like that. But as I got older, I would read little things here and there, and then find out, oh, she's on Omega level, Storm right there. Like she's supposed to be the baddest of the bad, and she's a queen and a goddess. Like she has that persona. And I found that she over there getting smacked around by Toad. Oh,
wow. Hell no!
I was like, ain't no way. And but in the X-Men '97, they do a great job.
They gave a lot of characters. Like,
I think Jean's moment was towards the end of the season, when
I feel like
when the real Jean came, because even when Madeline Pryor became the Goblin Queen, and she was whooping basically the X-Men's ass, which is true. Like she is that strong.
She is that strong. Yeah.
Like she's an Omega level mutant herself, just because she's a clone. She's not as strong as Jean, I don't think so, but she is strong. But the fact of, when she was doing all that stuff, whooping on Magneto, everybody, you have Jean come in and just like, stop. Like,
okay,
it's over. Like, you're not, like, we're done here. Like, whatever
cut it off.
Like, whatever you think you got going on is over. And I think, like, that was like the first moment. You like, damn, they're struggling with Madeline Pryor. And Jean comes and Jean's just, when she says stop, it's a stop.
Yeah.
And it's like that throughout the show, where Jean is like, whenever Jean comes in, it's like that. And I'm catching up on the comics, like I told you with X-Men. Jean is like that in the comics, where if she wants things to stop, more than likely they stop.
Yeah.
There's nobody who really combats her on it because she's so strong.
Same thing happened towards the end of the season when Sinister was like, doing all this shit, and then she like comes out of the water and she's like, I'm the Phoenix, and everything stops.
That's another line too, where it's like,
I am the Phoenix.
Where you're like, that shit would never fly.
With the little echo and everything. I'm like, bro, she cannot say that in real life.
That shit would not fly in live action, but it works so well with this.
So good.
I think Cable had a moment when he was fighting Jean, when he used his psychic ability. You don't really see Cable use his psychic ability. It's like, even in the comics, like he uses them, but he doesn't really use them because he's using his psychic ability to keep the nano shit.
No, his nano, like the virus.
Poison or whatever, from eating away at his body. So he's literally using his psychic ability to keep it. So he doesn't really use it anything else. but you get like I think Strife is like his a different universe of him or whatever. Strife is like strong as hell, like without the nano whatever eating at him, organism eating at him.
Yeah.
He uses his second ability. He's super strong. So the fact that you can see that with this Cable, and you see okay, he is like a strong mutant, like he has that ability. I think that was a moment. Cyclops again fighting Bastion. I was not expecting that. Oh, Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler
and Wolverine tag team duo.
That little episode, like it was like part 1 of the
I think so.
Tolerance's Extinction.
Yeah, with Nightcrawler and Wolverine tag teaming
it was like, why don't you give up, lady? I got 6 reasons or something like that. And then Nightcrawler, nah, 9. I'm like, oh, and it's so good. Like
and Nightcrawler has such a flair when he fights that they made it that way, and I'm like, yeah, this is dope. I was like, this is super dope. Rogue, I think Rogue honestly didn't have her moment until 2 episodes after Genosha.
Yeah.
So when she was going to that military base with Ross.
Yeah, that because the episode after Genosha was when Storm got her powers, which was insane.
Yeah, I think that was another moment for Storm as well.
They used the adversary, the character.
And Storm got her own theme music.
Oh yeah,
she's the only one with theme music.
Yeah.
The only, and it hits every single time.
Oh yeah,
it hits. I was like, oh.
And that costume change, it made no sense.
Back to the 70s costume change.
And it made no sense how she got the costume. No sense at all.
But I didn't even care. It was one of those animation perks that you get from having an animation where you can do stuff like that, which would make no fucking sense in a live action.
Yeah, she got her powers and suddenly she gets a new suit and her hair grows. I'm like,
oh yeah, I was like,
hell yeah.
Now I wanted the Jim Lee suit, right? But with her in the white long hair, instead of the mohawk. But when she came out with that 70s, with the little like crown, I was like,
okay,
I'm good.
That's what I'm talking about.
Genosha was another thing. Not a moment per se. It was a moment for, of course, Gambit. You know, R.I.P. That was his big moment. I think.
Remy.
Yeah, even Magneto had a moment. Magneto had a lot of moments.
Had a lot of moments. That first time he gets mad when
he picks the council up. Or
yeah, and he calls the dude like bigot.
He calls all bigot, worm,
and then he like, I can step on you right now, and I'm like, oh my god, like
he's Magneto. I think this season he was an enigma for everybody else. Like, there's no point in the season I thought Magneto was wrong.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
There's no point, but in '92, obviously Magneto was a bad guy. It was like clear cut. Yeah. Magneto, we're fighting, right?
Yeah.
But when Magneto with 97, it was like, dog, there's no point. I thought he was wrong.
Something they really like hit with this show. This show, like, obviously you don't necessarily need to watch the
92,
the original. You really don't. Like,
no.
You can just start watching.
I can't remember half of 92.
But what I liked about this show is that they know their audience and they're not like sugarcoating anything.
Yeah.
And they know that the people that were watching the old show are grown. Like, obviously kids now are going to like okay, let me watch the X-Men. I want to watch the X-Men. But they know their core audience. Their core audience are adults.
Yeah.
So like these are adult themes what they're talking about. Like, Magneto is not wrong.
No, he's not.
Like, he's justified. Every time he does something, I'm like, I would probably do the same.
Yes.
And Charles is not wrong also.
Oh, I hated Charles.
But, like...
I want Charles.
It's so complicated.
To shut up so bad. I was like... When he came back, I'm like, yo, just let him do what he needs to do. Like, okay, maybe trying to kill every single human is a little bit too much. I'll admit that. But... you have to find a better solution than what you're talking about, Charles. Like, you restoring power, like the president is threatening to blow that crap up.
Yeah.
And then now your X-Men still have to try to save the world because they wanted to try to send out missiles to the shit. Like, and if you turn back on the electricity, whatever, you're now turning back on the Sentinels. And now Bastion is not just going after mutants.
Yeah.
Like, nothing Charles Xavier is doing is making sense to me.
He just wants to be the good guy just to be the good guy.
Yeah, it's like you're doing something that, like, what is your dream at this point? Because your dream is now killing people. Like, you're killing more people than Magneto is, or y'all got the same amount.
You're screwing your mutants more than you like do anything.
Yeah. So off in the moments, right? A few things. Now that this dust has settled,
Yeah.
it's over. We get, things after the show, like the ratings. We get the yays, the nays.
Mm-hmm.
We hear from the creators, the animators. We hear about all of them. The creator / head writer who got kicked out.
Oh, Bill DeMaio?
Yeah.
Bring back my boy. He deserved better. Disney, I'm watching you.
The new head writer or whatever
Yeah.
said that they're going to keep his vision for the second season. So that means the third season is probably going to be doing whatever they want to do.
Yeah, he wrote DeMaio. I think he wrote 1, 2, and 3, and I think this new guy. He said we're gonna honor his idea for season 2, but I think they're gonna scrap season 3.
Probably.
And they're gonna like write something different.
My thing is like, okay, if season 1 is a hit, which it already is, if season 2 comes out and they do honor DeMaio's vision and they do it how he wanted it, and season 2's a hit, and then you come out season 3 and you fuck it up,
That's gonna leave a really bad taste on a lot of people.
And the thing is, I feel like maybe he shouldn't have said that. Maybe he should have, I felt like they said DeMaio, because everybody knows DeMaio wrote season 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they said, oh yeah, we're honoring his vision for season 2 because season 1 was so good. You guys are going to want to come back for season 2 because the same guy wrote it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think now you shoot yourself in the foot because we already know there's a season 3. Disney already came out and said there's going to be a season 3. So you said you're honoring for season 2, but DeMaio came out and said, yeah, I have 3 seasons wrapped up, like already written out.
Yeah.
Now you're not taking his vision for season 3. If season 3 don't go good, or if it don't make sense to season 2, or if it makes sense but it lacks, it wasn't just the animation that was great about season 1.
It was the story.
The story, like
the pacing,
on every single note, it hit.
Yeah.
So if that doesn't happen for season 3, there's going to be problems, right?
Yeah.
Another thing I like is that Disney has been on this girl power thing with their movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with it. I'm not like a lot of people who get up in arms.
Yeah, I'm not against it.
I do understand they are kind of shoving it in our faces a little bit sometimes, but at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, everybody needs representation. Hope I said that right. Sorry.
Representation.
Yeah, everybody needs that. So I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at. There are a lot of badass female superheroes, right?
Yeah.
But one thing I like about X-Men '97 is that the females were just as important as the males and vice versa.
Yeah.
The females, hell, Storm was more important because when they need a heavy hitter, Storm would be the one they call.
Yeah.
And they struggled when Storm wasn't there. Jean, they needed Jean to, access the Phoenix Force, whatever. They just needed her. Jubilee, when it came down to it, Jubilee had her moment versus Bastion.
Yeah. Which was hilarious when he said, "What are you gonna do? Hit me with the power of the 4th of July?" That was hilarious.
So I think that they did a good job balancing. Even Madeline Pryor, when she's beating up on everybody. Like Magneto had his moment where he was just like overpowered.
Mm-hmm.
But then a simple fight with another female mutant that was strong, that's supposed to be strong, and she wipes the floor with him. So it's kind of, I feel like they found that middle ground. But again, I feel like animation, you get away with that because you're not having a Hugh Jackman versus like a fucking Jennifer Lawrence. Like, I'm talking about stardom. Yeah. When people's resumes come into play, I feel like you kind of have to, who gets more screen time? Who do we have look better?
Where are we going to put our money?
Exactly. Like, who's gonna get the figures. Like I feel like all
who's gonna bring more audience and whatever. In animation, you really don't get that because you just have the character.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's exactly what it is, and I feel like live action that also play. Even if you get brand new actors that we never heard of, and you get them for each of these roles, right? It's still one of those characters are gonna blow up faster than the others.
Yeah.
The one that people gravitate to. So
there's always in live action. I feel like there's always going to be, especially in like team movies. Yeah. There's always going to be a character that people are going to like put their like favorite bookmark on.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened with Hugh Jackman.
That's what I feel like should happen with a lead character, right? Mm-hmm. So say you have a Henry Cavill that has a large following base, and you put him as Cyclops. Cyclops is supposed to be the leader. Mm-hmm. A lot of X-Men stories revolve around Cyclops. A lot of X-Men stories revolve around Cyclops, Jean, and Storm. Like, Storm leads the X-Men. She beats the hell out of Cyclops without powers, and she leads the X-Men. And then we all know those Cyclops or Scott and Jean. What goes on with them and their family? So I think you have many options. You have many revenues. Final thoughts about X-Men 97 out of 10. It might be a 9.8. I might even go. I might go to a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna go out of 10.
No, I'm gonna go 10 out of 10 because it hit absolutely everything. Everything that I wanted on a show. Because something I don't like is when they have, like, second tier characters and they want to like, without giving people, like the proper knowledge about that character, just put them on the front lines.
Yeah.
They didn't do that with Jubilee. Like obviously. Or Morph or Sunspot.
Yeah.
Like they slowly built them up.
And Morph helped us connect that.
Exactly.
Fantastic Four.
Exactly.
Spider-Man or anybody like Fantastic Four, anybody the Hulk. Those 90s shows are now all connected to X-Men 97. And I think that was one of the big things too.
Mind you, we didn't talk about any of the cameos. Yeah. Because the show wasn't about them. It was good.
It was cool.
Like it was cool to watch, but the show wasn't about like them.
Yeah.
But it was still cool to watch.
It was cool to watch. One thing that I did see though on the internet, people were mad that they feel like Disney's trying to get rid of T'Challa. Because if you notice, it was T'Chaka.
It was T'Chaka, yeah.
But a lot of people are saying, oh, y'all are trying to erase T'Challa because what happened to Chadwick Boseman, stuff like that. It is kind of weird that they didn't say T'Challa because in 92 it was T'Challa.
Yeah.
And the Fantastic Four, which they said is now connected, it was T'Challa. And then all of a sudden now you have T'Challa.
It was a little weird, yeah.
Yeah, and then T'Challa still has to marry Storm. And if Storm is 30-something or 20, high 20s.
I think she's in the 30s.
Yeah, like if she's 30-something in the 90s, and this is 97, T'Challa can't be a teenager.
No, that would be like, that is a child.
Yeah, he can't be like, no, you. So I think they're going to have to figure that out.
Yeah.
They're going to have to course correct on that. Unless you have her married to Chaka.
I trust Bill DeMaio.
Well, I mean, DeMaio's the one who said, hey, this is going to be the Chaka.
Yeah.
But
I trust him. Maybe he had like a
decision, or if that was Disney's decision.
It could have been. It could have been Disney's decision.
Because Disney hasn't recasted another T'Challa.
Because if there's something we know about DeMaio, he knows his X-Men.
Yeah.
He knows what's going on.
And the fact that she had a relationship before T'Challa, which was Forge, and now she has a relationship with Forge, it does seem like he's going towards more that route. But I don't think he wants to introduce a lot of other like Avengers into them yet. Yeah. So, I mean, that's cool. Like we said, Hell Thoughts, you got a 10 out of 10?
10 out of 10, definitely. 10 out of 10.
I'm going 10 out of 10. I think that is pretty much a really good show. Alright, so now we're moving on to anime. Mostly the manga. Not really nothing new on anime besides My Hero. But we talked about
slow, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the anime scene right now,
yeah,
it's a little slow.
Anime scene's a little slow. So the ones I've been watching is Kaiju number 8. Mm-hmm. My Hero just came back. Kudos to My Hero because their animation this season has been amazing.
Spoiler alert: she lasted 2 episodes.
2 episodes. 2 episodes.
Spoiler alert.
But she was badass at her last.
Yeah,
moments, just like in
it was
manga.
cool. It was cool, but she was not gonna last too much.
No.
As soon as I saw her, I was like, I gave her one more
I'm
episode.
surprised they pushed it out to they stretched it out to episodes. I'll be honest with you, but super dope animation for My Hero, right?
Yeah.
I think My Hero is one of those animes where the manga's art kind of exceeds the animation, but I feel like this season they stepped it up so far.
Demon Slayer started.
Demon Slayer, already off the bat, just shitting on other people's animation. Like
It's so like
off the bat, it's just like y'all can have whatever you fucking want to have.
it's like when you're in like a Super Smash Bros. Tournament and you're just like having fun, and then this bearded 15-year-old kid shows up with his own controller and sits down. You know you're gonna lose. That's Demon Slayer every time it starts.
It's like the seamless way that they transfer 3D and animation is so crazy and unique, and they do it flawlessly. But they start off with the first episode was hype, right? They started off.
No.
Isn't
it the training arc right now? Like
it's a training arc.
Yeah.
It's a training arc. But the first one, it was the Wayne Hashira and the Snake one. They were chasing down a demon, and that's when they found the fucking demon like home.
The castle.
Yeah, the castle.
The castle.
Yeah, castle. So that happens. You got a little action in the beginning because you knew the rest of the episode was no action.
Yeah.
Like whatsoever. So I can't remember. They didn't even do episode 2 yet. I don't think. But it's kind of slow, like you said. It's slow on the anime tip right now. Those are the only 3 that I'm watching actively. Also, but on the manga side, a lot of stuff has happened. A lot of stuff.
Too much.
I'll go with the one where I don't really care, but it is something to talk about. Boruto. The daughter.
Bro.
The daughter.
Himawari is
OP.
crazy. It's crazy.
So supposedly Boruto is supposed to be the strongest in the show. But his little sister is now a Jinchuriki.
Yep. She has the Nine-Tails Fox.
And it makes me think, can Naruto get the Nine-Tails Fox back? Somebody said that Sasuke now has 2 Renegons.
Yeah.
I don't follow, not fair warning, I don't follow
like
Boruto.
that, yeah.
I don't follow him. I don't follow this anime or manga. The anime turned me off. I tried to read the manga. I was also turned off. I just think it's whack. Like,
It was.
in the beginning, right?
In the beginning,
it just turned me off. Maybe I'll revisit it just because I like
With all this that's going on.
all this stuff. I might get back into it, but from what I, across my feed on X, Twitter, whatever y'all want to call it, just all this stuff. Sasuke getting his stuff, which is a little like a month ago or whatever. But right now, Naruto's daughter has. She's a Jinchuriki now.
Yeah.
And I think, knowing that I know her other hacks, like she has the freaking Bakugan, whatever.
Byakugan.
Yeah, and she has like the infinite chakra pool now. Is like.
And she has the gentle fist.
Yeah, it's you're
the cat.
OP.
Jesus.
It's like everybody that's either a child of Naruto or Sasuke is OP to the max. So that's number 1. Number 2, My Hero Academia is finally over.
I got my gripes on that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I got my.
It's finally over. One for all or all for one is gone. Homeboy died. I can't say his name. I can't remember it.
Shigaraki.
Yeah, Shigaraki is gone. Mm-hmm. He died. Spoiler alert. But he died.
You've been living under a rock.
Yeah. So I didn't read it. I saw spoilers of it, so I couldn't even read what it said, like because they're in a different language. Because I saw the spoilers, but I just saw that he died. I saw how he died. I saw the pages. I saw how he died.
Yeah.
But it was. I'm like, okay, like I can't say nothing about it. I'm like, all right, he's gone. I feel like the creator put herself, like I said before, put herself in a hole to where she made Shigaraki way too strong, way too powerful. And then you finally get through to him by this horrible plan to give all the one for all quirks to him.
Yeah.
And then once that happens, you still have All for One that takes over his conscience. So now you're fighting All for One, and then what do you have left? Oh, plot armor. You never want to end a story with plot armor.
Yeah.
You want it to make sense and to make, like, a great example is Attack on Titan. Eren had no more plot armor. I don't think Attack on Titan really depended on plot armor.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
But with him, there was no way of getting out of the situation he was in. He had to die. Like, and that's just as a protagonist that, had to do horrible things to save his people.
Yeah.
But My Hero is a rough ending. It is an abrupt ending. But I feel like, how else were you supposed to do that?
My gripe with that whole, like hero versus villains war at the end, bro, that shit was so freaking long. So long. It got to a point where I was like, I'm not gonna read it for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And there were times where I would not read it for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And then I would just catch up because like every week it would be like.
It wouldn't be that long.
I was like, I don't want to keep reading this because it was just so long. Like the fights took
like it
forever.
wasn't progressing at all.
Yeah, that's how it felt. It felt like you're in a treadmill.
Yeah, like Todoroki and Endeavor when they were fighting.
His
what's his name?
His brother.
Yeah, his brother. I forgot his name. But when they were fighting him, it took so long.
Forever.
And then he came back. And then
it took forever.
And then he had to fight him again. I was like, dog. Like,
come, get the hell out of here, bro.
Get him out of here. Like, shit. And it was like, even, Uraka.
Oh, with, against Toga?
Yeah.
That also took forever.
That fight was so long.
Bro, this fight should have been like 2-3 chapters.
And I'm like.
That's it.
I'm like, not everybody needs a moment, right? And then you have Bakugo versus All for One, which was actually the shortest fight. It was
like one of the hypest ones,
yeah,
too.
It was the shortest fight and one of the hypest ones. It was just like, dog, the one with Deku and Shigaraki, I was like, fucking somebody win. I don't
like
even care
every time I would read it and it would end, I'll be like, oh my god, next week
Deku
again.
Deku gets like that new form where he looks crazy with the black whip cover. I'm like, oh yeah. Dog, no, he's not even done. I'm just like, yo, I can't. I'm like, I can't take no more. The plan that the creator, I think it's a she.
Yeah. The
plan that she thought of to beat Shigaraki, stupid. Everything about that was just stupid. I'm just happy it's over.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad it's over because I can finally like go back, read everything real quick so I can like get caught up with everything. I'll be like, okay. And then next chapter is just gonna be like tying loose ends if she can. I don't think she can
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm really just happy it's over. I'm happy that we just get a closing of a long story. They had their ups and downs. I think the anime kind of hindered it.
The anime catched up real quick too.
It caught up real quick for one, but I think it was a season 6 or 5 where the animation took a deep dive. It's when he faced what's the dude that can phase through stuff? Oh, I totally forgot. Look, we're blanking on his name. Yeah. We're blanking on names. It's been a minute, but Lemillion when he fought Homeboy Overhaul.
Yeah.
When he fought Overhaul, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is the moment!" Like,
and
they gave us those still pictures,
and then it was just like him, like.
Yeah, it was still, and we were just like, "What?"
I'm like, "Oh, no, come on!"
Oh my god, that shit was the worst. So. That's on My Hero, right? Those are our quick thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm happy it's done. Not because.
So glad it's over.
Not because it was a shit story. It was just. I honestly think the beginning of the book was amazing. Yeah. Probably chapters 1 through 50, I think, or 60 or something like that.
Yeah.
Amazing. With the anime, season 1 and season 2, amazing. As soon as they started veering off and shit, I was like, oh fuck. I'm happy there was no fillers. I think we had maybe 2
The
fillers.
movies were basically fillers.
The movies were fillers. And then they
But I mean, they're movies.
The anime had to wrap around and be like, oh yeah, that's canon.
Yeah, it was so weird, yeah.
It was fucking stupid. We were like, okay, whatever. But I'm happy it's over. Now we just got to see what happens afterwards. Like, how does he become the greatest hero of all time? Like,
Yeah.
in the beginning of the manga, in the beginning of the anime, he says, this is a story how to become the greatest hero. Is he the greatest hero because he beat All for One? Or is he the greatest hero because now he just has One for All? I don't even know if he still has it. I don't know if he used everything.
Yeah, because, like...
He says, I still have the Ember. So it's like, okay, do you just use all of it just now? Or are you just, like, fast and strong now? Like, that's just you don't have all the other quirks. Your quirk is just now the strength, the speed, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I want to see if that's what happens. Because if not, Bakugo wins this whole fight that y'all had.
Yeah.
The thing, Bakugo was number 1. Oh, Bakugo lost an arm. He's not.
They're probably going to... Let's just wait till next week.
But it was cool that Bakugo did his explosion through his mouth.
Yeah.
Never seen him do an explosion other than through his arms because of the drawback, which I think is kind of weird that he could do it in his mouth. Because
Like
the drawback in his arms, like when they had that training arc of him and Midoriya versus All Might, and you saw what happens with him doing it without the gloves, and the fact that he did it through his mouth, I'm like, that doesn't work sound right.
Okay,
it's whatever. But yeah, that's our review on My Hero final chapter. It is out now, I believe. Yeah, it's out now, so you can go read that if you guys want. JJK. Now this is our last topic on anime and manga. It's just gonna be manga because one of the biggest fan services of all time just happened.
Why?
Now, for you guys who don't watch anime, to correlate this, Tony Stark just came back. Tony Stark from MCU just came back. Robert Downey Jr. said, I'm reprising my role in a movie, and he just surprised you. He didn't even tell nobody. He just showed up in the next Spider-Man movie.
He showed up in the next Spider-Man movie.
Or the next Avengers movie. Just showed up. At the end of the movie, he showed up, and you have to wait until the next movie. That's exactly what happened in JJK over the weekend. Gojo came back. You see his silhouette through the smoke. You see
his blue eyes.
You see his blue eyes. You see I'm blanking out the names right now. Who is Itadori fighting? Sukuna. Dog, I'm like blanking out. Sukuna. You see Sukuna get surprised, get scared, and he's like, God damn, I just killed you. How are you back?
Jesus.
That's all you see.
And then the chapter ends.
The chapter ends. Yeah. We have to wait on it for next week. What are your thoughts about that?
Bro. I cannot be more disappointed. I swear. I did not want this man to come back. They finally gave my boy Itadori the spotlight. Finally. He doesn't have to rely on Gojo's gonna save me. He was finally fighting. Todo came back. Todo had this little, vibro slap thing on his arm. He could, switch 50 times in a second. What? That is insane. And suddenly you end up with, Gojo might be back. Come on, man. No.
Dog,
I get
the fact that Itadori was going through this thing of he's rising to his potential. And the potential being Sukuna. That right there got me interested in Itadori as a main character. I hated, up until this last certain chapter, I hated Itadori.
He didn't do shit.
As a main character, I hated him as a main character, not as a character. If he wasn't a main character, I probably wouldn't give 2 fucks about him, honestly. But since he's the main character, I do not like him as a main character. I hate him as a main character. But lately, he throwing them things.
How many black flashes?
Dog, it was
like 10.
First, Sukuna was hitting him with black flashes. He's hitting everybody with black flashes.
Oh, yeah.
Sukuna powering up. So, this shit is easy. And all of a sudden, Itadori's coming and hitting him. He's like, oh, shit, hold up. And all of a sudden, it's like a flurry, just black flashes. just hitting him. And it's just like, Sukuna's even realizing he's matching me. Is he catching up to me And Sukuna's strong as hell. He's not literally catching up at that moment, but they realize his potential now is as what Sukuna is at the moment. And it's like, dog, Sukuna's now trying to kill him fast.
Actually kill him.
So he doesn't reach that potential. Like Sukuna's scared. Like he's worried.
Oh no.
So it's like, I'm like, oh shit, and then you have Toto come.
Finally.
You have Toto come.
With the virus lab when he showed up with a little
and you're just like, oh shit, he could get more black flashes off. This is him. We're about to see his moment. And then out of the smoke, you just see Gojo.
Come on, man.
You just see Gojo coming back. And everybody was like, ain't no fucking way. Now, a lot of people liked it because a lot of people were asking for Gojo to come back. Which, I didn't mind Gojo dying the way he did because the only thing that could beat Gojo was that technique.
Yeah.
Gojo even said, hey, that technique's the only thing that will give me trouble or that could possibly beat me. He had that technique times 2. Or times 10 because he had his own power, which would give Gojo problems.
Yeah.
And then just add that with Megumi or whatever his name is.
Megumi, the
guy that he took over.
Yeah, Megumi.
Yeah, you add his power with that. Yeah, he's supposed to lose that battle. Gojo, but now Gojo comes. Every time Gojo dies and he comes back, he's 10 times stronger than the way he was.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of is he gonna wash Sukuna now? Because if he washes Sukuna, there's literally no point in him being in the fucking story.
It's like, okay,
if he comes back and he still struggles with Sukuna, say he just was not dead anymore, he was still tired, he was still lacking on energy, he's
missing an arm or something.
He still wasn't doing the things. Him and Sukuna are basically at the same state. Where he was when Sukuna killed him is how he is, power wise. He's just still tired. He's just rejoining the fight.
He joins the fight with
he can't
Toto
he can't use Hollow Purple no more because he's tired.
Yeah.
That I'll be cool with. You just have to throw them hands at this point. That's all. Or even he sits back and is like, nah, I'm gonna let Itadori handle this shit.
Yeah, bro. If I go in there, I'm just gonna get in their way.
Yeah, no.
Something like that.
Just let him know. Oh, he's not dead. Oh shit. Now I'm worried because I got to deal with him if I don't deal with these two. But in the meantime, Itadori still. It's just so many things that they can go with.
I saw. It was when people do their own manga panels and they take a picture and it's like, oh, spoiler alert. This just came out. There's a leak. It's not a leak. It's just somebody wrote drew it. Somebody drew the first page of the next chapter, and instead of being Gojo, it's Yuta, and Yuta hits him with a purple. I saw that and I was like, I would hate that too.
I would hate that too.
Just Yuta learning to do a purple like that? No.
Yeah, because Yuta is related to Gojo, right? But I don't think he's that.
And he has to know.
He has to be 6 eyes or something.
And he has to have the six eye technique.
Something like that. And there's reasons why Gojo can do what he can do.
Yeah.
And Yuta doesn't meet none of those. Yuta's special in his own way.
Yeah, he can copy curse techniques and whatever.
Yeah, he's special in his own way.
Calm the fuck down.
But he's not that special.
Calm the hell down.
I think that if Gojo does come back, and say Gojo is stronger, it totally defeats what Itadori has been going through. It defeats... Chozo just died for no reason.
Yeah.
All that, it just doesn't make sense.
There's so many characters
but that's why I say it's fan service.
Yeah, and there's you still have Maki somewhere in the fight.
Well, she got hit with a black flash straight on. She's down right now.
Yeah, but she's somewhere in there.
She's somewhere, but
she has the heavenly restriction, so
she's out right now.
As soon as she showed up, I was excited. I was like, hell yeah, this is my favorite character. So I was like, hell yeah. But now we got Gojo coming back.
Gojo coming back is gonna be definitely. It was a head scratcher at first for me, but I want to see how they do with the story.
Story wise, it's interesting because it's like you say, if he's stronger.
My thing is, can they kill? I read somewhere they can't. Technically, they can't kill Sukuna
because they kill Megumi.
That too, but even if Sukuna had his own body, technically they couldn't kill because he's a curse or something like that. He's between a curse and a person. They can't. Somewhere I read, I'm not fact check me on that if y'all want to in the comments, but they couldn't kill him, like really kill him. So they want Ishidori to eat his fingers and just be a vessel, like not a vessel, but just be a containment, basically.
Yeah, like he was before.
Yeah, because he's the only one who really controlled him.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, that you can't just, there's not gonna be no talk jutsu that's gonna stop.
No, there's no talk jutsu in Jujutsu.
Suga's the only villain I know in anime right now. Well, right now, I know villains in anime you can't really talk to. Yeah. But right now, he's the only like Shonen Jump anime character villain that's really no talking to. Like he's just gonna be evil.
Oh yeah, he just likes.
Yeah,
he's just like that.
He just wants to be evil just to fucking be evil.
Yeah.
But that was it for our manga / anime talk. Pretty exciting stuff. Now we're gonna get into reactions, which is gonna be fun. We're not gonna do this one actually.
Which one's that one?
The Dune.
Oh.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that one. We're just gonna do one because we do have to talk about this and how people were acting.
People are crazy sometimes.
We're gonna put this up a little bit. All right, we're starting the video in 3, 2, 1.
Who are you? Who do you serve?
All I have ever known in my life. Our land. Our customs.
I can already see the microtransactions.
My family.
Yeah.
Burns.
$30
In the name of unification.
Still a frog in a well who knows nothing of the sea. The ocean's filled with new ships, but they all come from the same river. Greed. Power. Vengeance.
And you,
I feels like.
will you continue down that river?
I hope they like find it.
The Mirage one, they went back
Or
to the
choose another path beyond what we see?
Then we must look for it
Because how the
together.
system will work
With
with
this.
Yasuke.
Yeah.
I can see with her.
I can see it with her. Maybe what if they do like a mix? I can see them.
We must learn to trust, rebuild.
And follow the blade.
What I'm seeing is gonna be like more stealthier with her
Do you serve?
and more like combat focused with him. For what happens.
That would make sense.
We are the shadows.
He really doesn't do stealth.
That serve the light.
comes out this year.
Yeah. All right, and that was Assassin's Creed.
Shadows.
Assassin's Creed Shadows. What are your thoughts on that?
I've been waiting for an Assassin's Creed in like feudal Japan for a long time. So I'm excited because we got Assassin's Creed like China, but that one,
one-off ones,
yeah, but that one was like it was like a side scroller type game.
Yeah.
So like I'm excited. I mean, I haven't played like an Assassin's Creed with like me wanting to like play it, like, 'cause I'm excited.
Yeah.
Since like I think it was like Black Flags was the last one where I was like, hell yeah.
That's just probably my favorite one.
But like Valhalla, Mirage, I haven't played Mirage, but Valhalla
I got Valhalla.
Valhalla was like okay, I can play it, but I mean, not my favorite.
I like the
Not my favorite.
in Valhalla. I like the Viking aspect, right? So
Yeah.
like your raiding and shit like that. The fighting system was like whatever. But I understand the fighting system was like that in Odyssey and the Greek one.
Yeah.
So I understand the similarities with that. I don't really care for it. I like the old system better. I like Black Flags, but I also like Unities and like
Oh, Unity.
I like the fight system in that. And Mirage kind of was like that in a way. They had a couple of new things in Mirage that are kind of weird. Like when you can like choose, like you can transport to each location to kill somebody, like teleport type thing. It was kind of weird, but with this trailer, I don't see nothing wrong with it.
No.
I see it as another Assassin's Creed game.
Me too.
I see it.
I know what people are gonna talk about.
Yeah. We'll get it. But I see it as another Assassin's Creed game. I see it as something we can look at, like forward to. The only thing that would concern me about this game, honestly, is the fighting styles. How the fighting is going to look. Not the fighting styles, but how is it going to look? How is it going to feel? Is it going to be clunky like Valhalla? Is it going to be... Unity, I felt like was like the smoothest fighting that was there. Like, if you played Unity, it was like very, like, human. You felt like a human was in your hands. Like, that's how smooth it was. Through the parkour, all that. Like, jumping through windows, it was like, if I was athletic or you were, like, very, like, parkour athletic, if we jumped through windows, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Like, it was no extra shit. It was just get through the fucking window or shit like that.
Yeah.
I wanted Assassin's Creed in Japan for a long time.
Yeah.
I wanted to see them with samurai for a long time. They didn't give us it. They had some BS excuse about it, why they didn't give us it. And then all of a sudden, Ghost of Tsushima, whatever comes out.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. An amazing game.
Beautiful.
Amazing game. But it's basically a samurai turning into what? A ninja.
A ninja, yeah.
And you're doing things where I think Assassin's Creed would thrive in. Do I think Assassin's Creed story is going to be as good as Ghost of Tsushima? No. By a long shot, no.
No, definitely not. Ghost of Tsushima
but
was...
to go into, like, those are my only concerns, right? Is how it's going to translate when you're playing it. Now, about Yasuke. The elephant out there where people don't like is Yasuke.
He's black.
He is a historical figure.
Like, you should know this.
There has been people from Japan, history buffs from Japan that are Japanese that have came out in defense of Yasuke, saying that yes, he was a samurai. He has fought in 2 wars. One of the wars being, or 2 battles. One of the battles being when his master was killed, betrayed. Mm-hmm. People were saying, well, why didn't he commit suicide then? Like, you know, what samurais do, whatever.
Yeah.
Because his son told him not to. His son told him, get out of Japan. And from there, they have lost records of Yasuke. They have no more after that. Now, I will admit, Yasuke's story is a bit like here and there because the records on him are here and there. Like, it's like, yeah, he thought.
Isn't there like a painting or a picture or something?
There's supposed to be like a clay statue, a painting. He was before pictures.
Okay.
He was around like 500 something years before pictures were made or introduced over there. So people online, and let me just say the bigots online who have a problem with
This is woke.
I don't understand, and they're like, why can't we have a Japanese main character? You do have a Japanese main character. Well, why can't we choose between a male Japanese main character and a female Japanese main character? How do you not know? Yasuke, I understand if you can't choose a female Yasuke. That is a historical figure. You're not going to have a female Yasuke.
Yeah.
But the other character, the assassin, is made up. They're always made up people.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't? How do we know? Ubisoft's like, okay, we're gonna give you a male. You get to choose between male and female. They've done that for the past, except Mirage. They've done that for the past fucking 3 Assassin's Creed.
In my opinion, I'm not a big fan of that. Like
The male and female.
You get to choose the male, female. Like, just give me a character, bro.
I don't mind it because I don't want to play as a female. I'll be honest. I'm one of those people who I want to play like as a male. I want to go through the story as a male because I am a male. Now I understand the Greek one. I understand that there are stories geared towards female. Like it makes more sense to be a female. The Greek one, it made more sense. Hell, even the Valhalla one, it made sense. I wouldn't say it made more sense, but it made sense.
Yeah, it made sense.
But still, I would want to play. It made more sense to be male in the Valhalla one. I feel like actually, but definitely in the Greek one, if you weren't the female one, it didn't make no fucking sense at all. So I just think I'm gonna say it again. Bigots on the internet are mad that you're playing as Yasuke, or you have the option to play as. He's not even a hardcore probably play as Yasuke. It's like you probably can switch back and forth, if anything. But me personally, I think it's cool. I think Yasuke is like one of those mysterious figures in history that you don't know a lot about, so you can interpret a lot. All you know is that he was a retainer. He was a samurai. He was a slave that became a samurai. Mm-hmm. He was a slave that became close to one of the most feared, dominating figures in Japanese wartime.
Yeah. The Netflix show is just like someone's like adaptation of his story.
Yeah, it's
like obviously it's not real. The Netflix show,
and we're not saying he was out here running around with assassins. Hell, who was in the first one? Altair, fucking Gina Vinci or some shit like that, making him airplanes to fly around in. I'm pretty sure that was inaccurate in history. We're not gonna get the same.
Besides, it's a video game.
It's a video game, guys. It's not that serious.
Like,
it's really not that. But honestly, I think it's cool that Yasuke's in it.
I think it's pretty cool. Like putting
sometimes there's historical figures in games where we don't get to play as, where we're just like, fuck, he looks cool. Or we'll have those dumbass missions where you're the main character, right? You're your character.
Yeah.
And then somebody else you want to be as, you can see their fighting style. You'll see they'll get them. You're like, fighting beside them and shit. Yeah. And you're just like, damn, I wish I could fight with them.
I got that.
Like, what's going on? That's just like when, was it Nightwing? When he came in Batman.
Oh, in Batman?
Games,
yeah.
Batman games,
like he was fighting and I was like, I want to play like that.
Yeah, before you could play as him, you were like, why can't I have Nightwing? And he's just over there doing missions with you or Robin and shit. It's like, dog, come on. But yeah, I'm happy you can play as Yasuke. I mean, I'm not saying the game will be good because of it. I'm not saying the game will perform well. It is second right now in pre-orders out of all games this year.
Oh shit!
It's second. So
I mean, it's an Assassin's Creed. That just the Assassin's Creed name, pulls like a lot of people. So
yeah. So me personally, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's going to be great.
I'm excited. It's gonna be great. Hopefully, Yasuke, I'm all in for it. And the female ninja character, I'm interested. Like having like that chemistry of a ninja and a samurai.
Yeah.
And especially like a samurai like Yasuke, if they make him like how he is in his story, like he honors the samurai code and all that.
Yeah.
Being with like a ninja, like working side by side, is gonna be like a good like
that difference of opinion and difference of like,
like
what is right and wrong.
Yeah.
What's, you know, shit like that.
So it's gonna be interesting to see that.
Definitely interesting. And since he's alive, the guy, you know, they could incorporate his master, which is Odai something. You could incorporate him in the story because that's who Yasuke served. That's who he was under. And it so happens that he was under like a person who dominated every war he was in.
For sure.
So that's all for that. Now we're gonna stay on drama. Man, you're not in the statue community. Again, he's not in the statue community. He's not in, besides one group that I invited him to just so you can see what's out there, like anime statues wise. He's not in any of the statue groups. I never thought I'd be here talking to you about drama within statues. People fighting or arguing about drama. So I'm gonna sum this up the best way I can. It all started with, say there's a group out there, right? They said, you know, they bought, there's a guy who bought a group, a statue company. He named it something else. He was like, when he bought it, he said, hey, we're gonna be the best we're gonna strive to be the best there is at releasing and product we put out, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Now they're getting to release their product, right? They made all these promises. They get to release their product. With every statue that's gone out down near, there's been something wrong. And it's a QC issue, which is quality control, which is from the time it leaves the warehouse to the time it gets to the customer, something along those lines have been wrong.
Something happened.
Yes. So it's either the paint job's off, the swords on something look dull, like they look like plastic when they're not supposed to. They have no shine on it, nothing.
Oh, okay.
There's little bubbles, which means that the paint wasn't dry when you put it in the box. You put it in the box, now the paint is sitting there wet, like sweating, and it looks like little bitty bubbles on you.
Oh.
Or there's scratches all over your statue, statue breaks, things of that nature.
Yeah.
That's what we call QC issues control. Stuff like that has been happening damn near with every piece that's gone out. Or just basically another thing that's been happening is they'll release promo pictures, right? Mm-hmm. And promo pictures are supposed to be promo pictures. Promo pictures we understand have say a likeness to somebody, right? So they wanted to release a statue of let's say for instance like Henry Cavill. They haven't done a Henry Cavill statue. The people out there know what I'm talking about, but I don't want them in their feelings, right? Yeah. Because everybody has words with this company, we're trying to get into that too. But say they have the likeness to Henry Cavill, and with the promo picture, it looks maybe like 60% like Henry Cavill. They have to work more to make it look like Henry Cavill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like 60% there. So they put that out, and they're like, oh, these are promo pictures. But under that, they're like, hey, pre-order just opened up. So why would I pre-order?
Why would I pre-order that when it doesn't
look like him?
Yeah.
So when they get called out on, hey, why would I pre-order that if it doesn't look like you? Said these are, or it says, hey, no, they don't even say it's promo. They say they just put out the picture. They put out, hey, it's up for pre-order, and people are like, that looks nothing like him. Why would I pre-order that? Like they go on the page and they say, hey, this does not look like so and so. I would not pre-order that. And then the owner argues with the customer. And this is on a platform, public platform.
That's already unprofessional.
Like Facebook.
That's already unprofessional.
And they argue with the customer, multiple customers. Maybe one customer they argue with more. I'm going to say one customer they argue with more than the others because they both got issues with each other.
Oh.
But he argues with more because he feels like that customer's attacking him. So he's like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. These are just promo pictures. And then the customer's like, well, why would you release a pre-order or say it's not for pre-order? This is just your prototype or your promo, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not all the way there. You're saying, oh, we got to change this. We're going to change that. It's not up to your vision, which the owner is like, it's not up to my vision. So why are you putting it out there, right?
Yeah.
Fast forward, you go on. The owner of the company goes on different lives to talk about what he has coming out. Customer comments on the live, asking questions about QC, ask questions about like what are you going to do to fix QC issues that have been happening, stuff like that. And he doubles down. The owner doubles down. Is like, he insults him, whatever. The person whose live he's on insults the customer as well.
Damn.
Some people in the comments do as well, whatever. More drama following months, whatever. Another group from Facebook or from YouTube, they're YouTubers. They have a Facebook page of their own. They make a post calling out that said customer, because that customer has a YouTube page as well. He does YouTube as well. He has a follower.
So many branches.
So they call him out, and they're just like, "Hey, you have an agenda. You don't like this group. You don't like blah blah blah," and they're just shitting on him, and people are in the comments just shitting on him.
Jeez.
So then he comments like, "Hey, and they don't live in America, so the time difference is working in their favor." But then when everybody on our end starts waking up and seeing it, like, what the fuck is going on? You have people like me commenting like, hey, I don't think this is true. Like, I think you guys are like misinterpreting it. Yeah. I'm being professional because I'm cool with the people who called him out as well. And other people are the same way. They're like, hey, they're coming to his defense. They're like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And when things start to not look right in the comment section, like, oh, it's turning tides, they delete the post. Okay, cool. We're off of that. You deleted the post. What happened, happened. We're going to remember it. But what happened, happened. Fast forward, guys that are in, that were on lives there, the lives that I do. Yeah. There's people the same people that are on lives with us with different lives or have their own lives and stuff. We all have lives together. We all go on each other's channels for lives. Yeah. A group of people who created their own channel still go on lives with everybody else. They're now attacking him because they said he did something.
So much.
And then he attacked them. Now, all this drama involves one person. I do believe in the saying, if you're the common denominator, you might need to do some reflection within yourself. Yeah. Right? Like, you can't have problems with all these people and then there's nothing wrong with you. Yeah. But me following the situation, I feel like some of those people shouldn't have problems. Right? I think only the people who called him out, I want to say Friday, the ones that were all know each other, right? Mm-hmm. They are the only ones that had a valid reason. I think it's a misunderstanding, but they're the only ones who had a valid reason. Okay. Now, my question for you, right? Not really a question, it's more like your thoughts. Besides the people who called him out Friday, the company, I want to know your opinion on what you think of an owner of a company. And don't forget, I like some of his work, right? I like some of his statues that he's putting out. I have they all know, but they all know the company. I'm pretty sure y'all know when y'all see this. The Marcus Underworld, I have him on pre-order from them. And I'm probably going to get the rest of the Underworld line depending on how they look. Okay. So, with that being said, that owner, how do you feel if you were a customer, right? Whether it's Hot Toys, when you go pick up your goddamn books and the owner of the comic book store and you get into a tiff or you see it, not even if it's you, but if you see it with somebody else and they're talking to them a certain way where it's just like you're going back and forth with the customer and it's not like, no, I don't think you're getting it. It's like, nah, fuck you. Don't get it misconstrued. It's not like a owner saying, well, maybe you are looking at it differently. Yeah. Or, no, it's a fuck you. And then, like I said, on the live, he talked like he was special ed with the hand gestures and everything. Because he was like, let me slow it down for you. And then he started talking like he was like, with the hands, like was special ed. And I was just like, whoa. And that's a company owner.
My goodness.
So as you, and this is one of our last topics. After this, we just have weekly pickups and a great debate, which is going to be new on here. But I just want to get your quick thoughts on what you think of this drama and things of that nature.
Well, I think there's drama in like any community that has like a big fan base, right? Yeah. But like, it's usually like the drama is like between the fans. When a company,
in this case, it'll be the customers.
Between the customers in this case. Yeah. But when a company like gets involved in the drama.
And not just the company, it's the owner.
It's the owner of the company. And then it's like it gets to a point where the owner is insulting people and like offending people, doing like gestures and stuff like that. That's just unprofessional. In my opinion, it's super unprofessional, first of all. As an owner, you have to be like you basically have to like block like your own feelings, because you're an owner of a company now.
Yeah.
So like you can't make every customer happy, but if customers are like telling you like oh, what's going on with QC or what's going on, like the best thing you can do is just be transparent.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion, the best thing you can do is just be transparent. Like hey, like we're gonna do our best for the next drop to like make things the right way, whatever. Like I'm sorry for whoever like didn't get their product and they got the product and they weren't happy with it. We're gonna work on it, whatever. Like that's the best thing you can do as an owner, cause like when you get to that point where you're like nah, bro, fuck you, we did our best. Like what the fuck are you talking about? You just didn't like it. You're just attacking my company. Like
Yeah.
once you get in your feelings, that's when it
And
gets.
that's exactly what I said. I was like,
Yeah.
they both got in their feelings, but also, so a lot of the times people are saying now they have an issue with the customer, that certain customer, because they say on his live all the time, he attacks that company with every single piece that comes out. And it's kind of like, you know, when that said customer was attacking like Sideshow, nobody said anything. Nobody batted an eye. Nobody gave a fuck. You know, and it wasn't just him. It was a lot of people just shitting on Sideshow. They were like, Sideshow's not putting out good work. Fuck them. XM stumps on Sideshow. It was a lot of that talk going around, right? But when they talk about this other certain company, it was like, that's not true. He's a good guy. Okay, he could be a good guy. I'm not saying he's not a good guy. I'm saying that why is there QC issues? I'm buying a statue from him. I have a statue on order. If I get that statue and it has issues and I'm paying over $1,000 for that statue.
Yeah, at this point, it's not about the person, it's about the company.
Yeah, it's
So.
not like I know he's not painting them fucking statues.
Yeah,
I know he.
Like,
doesn't
I don't care
package them.
if he's a cool dude. He can be like the greatest father ever, and he
Yeah.
can be the greatest husband ever, and he can be like a good friend and
And
whatever.
I
but
think a lot of it too, I think they're in bed with companies. A lot of these YouTubers, even though they try to say, "Oh, we don't get monetized," or blah blah blah. It's not about monetization, right? There's a lot of channels out here that there's only, I want to say 2 channels that get monetized, and really only one, and it's Jim. That get actual monetization for the product that they put out. Where if a company wants them to receive a statue or review a statue, there's some type of monetization. There's some type of I get to keep that statue. There's some type of something that goes into it.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't think it's a monetization thing. I think you're just in bed with certain things. Like Spec Fiction is a company where you could buy. It's a U.S. based, where you can just buy it's like the middleman.
yeah,
So with that, it's kind of you can get sponsored by them, and they might give you discounts on their website. And they might send you a statue. Like, hey, I need a statue to review. Okay, I'm gonna send that to you, and just send me back when you can. Like shit like that happens in the community. Now, throughout all this, it's gotten to the point where collecting has just been unfun, or not unfun, like doing lives and stuff, or talking to the community, or anything like that has just been unfun. Like it's taken away from the hobby.
It gravitates towards
The
problem.
It's not the hobby anymore when it's like that. It's just, oh fuck you or fuck you. I choose this side. I choose that side, and it's like, no, y'all are older than me, like by a lot.
It's not high school.
Like y'all are like in their 40s, mid 30s, some even older than that, and y'all are arguing with each other like this, and I'm just like,
You're already having midlife crises. Like, stop.
like I'm and, you know, and everybody I'm cool with, right? I have no problem with nobody. they all know me. Kesus don't have no problem. They just know I don't have problems. If I don't talk to you, it's not that I don't try not to talk to you. It's just that we haven't crossed paths, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just gets to a point where it's unfun. Like, where I want to get my statues, and I just want to keep it to myself. And then if you see...
Instead of, like, sharing it.
Yeah, and if you see my collection, then you'll be like, oh, you got a new one. When did you get that in? Oh, I don't know. You know, I might take a picture of the statues I get and post them on a page or something, but it's getting to that point.
I think hobbies and fandoms and whatever usually get that from time to time. Because I remember there was a time when Star Wars, like, I just enjoyed it by myself. Because, like, I couldn't post about it. I couldn't, like, talk to other people about it. Because it was always like, oh, Star Wars is too woke. I don't like Star Wars. Why is this happening? Like, this show is shit. This is that. Like, everything's that Star Wars, like, put out was shit to people. Like and I was like, bro, just enjoy it. And, like, just, like...
That's how I feel. And the only reason I bring this up today, like, y'all probably be like, why are you bringing it up? I bring it up because there's a lot of people who feel like me. Where they're not in the middle, but they're watching it on the outside. We're like, y'all gotta wrap this shit up.
Yeah, like hurry up. I want to get back to the collecting.
Yeah, like when there's drama, it dampers on a lot of people's parade. There's some people now who don't even do lives that they used to do every damn week, almost every day, like beyond people's lives, because you got this going on. There's people now that I see on lives I'd never seen before because people are trying to get new people on their lives because the people who used to do got problems with each other now. Yeah. So it's kind of like, you know, it gets to a point where it's like, when are we going to say, okay, and they're talking about, oh, you know, the people on Friday who made a live, right? I understood their point of view. The guy that they talked about, he made a live on Saturday addressing everything that they were talking about, right?
Yeah. And
then they're in the comments like, we don't need to do it in front of a camera. Y'all just did that live on Friday in front of a camera. Calling him out, calling him a bitch. So I'm just like, damn. I was like, hey, we gotta find some way to meet in the middle. Y'all are not we, but y'all gotta find some way to meet in the middle. And the reason I brought it to you is just because, mainly because of the thoughts on the owner being the way he is. Because it's not just this customer that I'm talking about. It's just the most insensitive that he's been with, right? Yeah. He's also been like that to other customers, where it's not as extensive, but it's definitely other customers have said, like, believe it or not, there are people who come to my messages, my inbox, my PMs, and they say, hey, Kesus, you're in the community. Do you have problems with such and such company? I say no. And whenever I talk to the owner, of the company before. Like, huh? I talked to the owner of the company before. He is a cool dude. He is not bad in any shape. But like we just said, he's not the one packaging our shit. Yeah. He's just the one overseeing it. So if somebody puts in the page or messages him, and one thing I want to ask you, do you think that he's too accessible? So what I mean by accessible, I can message him right now and he will get back to me. I can message his personal Facebook.
That is definitely like, yeah, he is too accessible. As an owner. As an owner of a company.
The only time I want to hear from him is if he has new things coming out, or there's something he has to take back, or like updates.
Like be transparent with the customers that buy from your company. Yeah. Like you're not the.
I imagine that Kevin Feige was that accessible.
Yeah, like Kevin Feige's not the face of like Marvel. Yeah, he's just the one that oversees everything and all the product and whatever. But
people mentioning Kevin Feige, hey, when is the next Marvel movie coming out?
Why is this movie shit, bro? Like,
dog, he's not the director. He's not whatever you want to call it. Kevin Feige has his role, right? And I feel the same way about the owner of the company that we're talking about. Yeah. It's just I feel he's too accessible. He has started now. People are like, they'll at him on Facebook and be like, hey, this and this is wrong with my statue and blah blah blah. And he'll comment under, contact customer support. They'll help deal with you and help fix your problem, shit like that. I think that is the correct answer. I think that's all
Yeah,
he should do.
that should be the correct answer.
But it's so many trip ups that got him there. But those are my thoughts about that. Y'all out there will know what I'm talking about. So, second to last topic, weekly pickups. This is all about Vasquez. I'm gonna let him take the floor, and he's gonna talk about a little bit.
Yeah, just gonna go real quick over some of these. This week I picked up Ultimate X-Men number 2 and 3. Like I said last week, I'm following the Ultimate Universe super closely. I still don't know how to feel about Ultimate X-Men. Like, some of you that probably are following the Ultimate Universe like I am feel the same way. Just because the art style doesn't match anything else. Because it's Peach Momoko doing, like, the story and the art. And this is basically what she does. It's like watercolor based, like manga style. And like the only thing that I saw that kind of linked Ultimate X-Men with everything else is that there's a page in chapter 3 that the girl, this girl in the cover, May, she's like scrolling through like social media and she sees a post about Storm from Black Panther. That's the only thing. But other than that, I think if you're a fan of like anime, manga, like coming of age stories or whatever, you should definitely pick Ultimate X-Men. The artwork, it's Peach Momoko. She's like one of the best out there right now. One of the best like comic illustrators out there. Peach Momoko is just insane. So that's my quick thoughts about Ultimate X-Men. But Ultimate Black Panther. Like, I'm gonna tell you something about Ultimate Black Panther. Y'all need to pick this. Y'all need to pick these up. Ultimate Black Panther, besides Ultimate Spider-Man, has to be like the best Ultimate Universe story right now. From like the 3 that are out. The story is so mature in like it has so much like mature themes on it. Like T'Challa is already the king, but T'Chaka is not dead. T'Chaka just stepped down because he's older. So he like stepped down. Like he's now the leader of the like the intelligence part of the like the knowledge about Wakanda and whatever. T'Challa is married to Okoye. Okoye is not the general of the Dora Milaje. She's the like an instructor basically now. She like oversees like all of them. Like their dynamic is so like unique because they're both warriors and they're both like formidable warriors. Like the way they talk to each other, the way they like portray each other, they just look like they were meant to be like, you know, like a couple. Which is weird because I never thought about it because I never like followed the Ultimate Black Panther comic books. So like I wouldn't know. Like a lot of people say that like, oh yeah, we've been chipping them for years and it never happened. So I'm glad it finally happened. I'm like, well, okay, I guess. It's pretty cool.
I personally never thought of it.
The Ultimate Black Panther has like like the story so far is that Khonshu and Ra are basically at war with Wakanda. And their army is called the Moon Knight. Like they're not vessels of Khonshu, they're just called Moon Knight. And they have like guns and
so Khonshu,
technology.
the god.
Yeah, and Ra, the both of them.
And they're at war with Wakanda.
They're at war with Wakanda because they're looking for something. T'Challa thinks it's vibranium, but in the last chapter, they discovered something other than vibranium. Killmonger is in the story. He's Storm's like they're in a relationship.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Like, but it's so good. Like T'Challa doesn't like believe too much in tradition. Like, there's like a bunch of things like, oh, the gods don't speak to me. Like I don't believe in any of that. I don't believe in prophecy or whatever.
So
Like,
he hasn't seen what's her name, Bast or whatever.
yeah, they believe in all of it, but he relies more. His suit is more of a like an Iron Man suit, basically.
Okay.
Like, it's nanotech and whatever, but like it's still building up the story. But as of now, the story is just so good. Because they also told him in the last chapter, like, the people that have visions and like give counsel to the king, like, he went to get counsel from them, and Okoye was like, watch out what they tell you, because those people like rule with fear. They don't rule with like sympathy or anything else. They want to inflict fear in people so people follow them.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't worry about it, I'm gonna take care of it. And he goes over there, and they gave him like a vision. They're like, oh, the gods gave us a vision that you're gonna give us an heir, but not with Okoye. Basically, they don't say
it was
with
Storm.
yeah,
Wasn't it?
they don't
Yeah.
say Okoye, but they're like,
I remember
you're gonna
seeing
have
that.
a heir that like it's like the child of destiny for
Yeah.
Wakanda,
It's like Azara.
and you're gonna have the child with a woman made of light. And the first time he meets Storm, like, she's just like full of lightning and whatever, and he's like, oh shit, like, I know what they're talking about now. So the story is still progressing, but
You know,
it's so good.
so I was that story, at least that chapter, right? I saw it on Twitter or X for people,
Yeah.
and they're talking about because they want to introduce their son.
Yeah.
And they said their son is actually the strongest Black Panther for one, and he's a mutant, and he has Storm's powers times 10 because Bast blessed him with her powers. So if they go down that route, and if
It's gonna be
and
insane.
he's supposed to be a friend of Miles.
That's gonna be insane.
Him and Miles are supposed to be friends, and they're supposed to be in the new Avengers. Somehow his age gets sped up, or something happens, because they already have a. He's been in the comics before, I guess, and he's already had a design to him. So, I mean, if it does happen, then I mean that's an OP character.
Yeah.
As hell, but it seems like it's exciting.
Yeah, it's definitely like something I'm enjoying a lot. The Ultimate Universe is just like so good right now. It is so good, especially with this like twist they're doing with characters and whatever. Like, it's so awesome to see. Like, Khonshu and Ra have an army and they're going against Wakanda. Like, the world doesn't know about Wakanda, so like Wakanda's still in hiding.
Yeah.
So this war is like happening and the world doesn't know it's happening. And it's so good. Like, I can't wait for chapter 4. I think it comes out next week or the week after, so I'm not too sure about that. That's what I've read so far. I picked up Marvel's new event, Blood Hunt. I haven't read it yet, but I was told that it is very good. And you don't have to, because it's happening throughout all the ongoing series right now. Like, Spider-Man has a Blood Hunt, like 3 chapters. Hawkeye is having like a crossover with Blood Hunt too. Like, it's like a whole event. Like, every ongoing series right now, it's going through this. So like, you don't have to get overwhelmed. You don't have to read everything. You can just read the Blood Hunt event, and that's it. You don't have to like follow everything. So that's good. Geiger, I don't know too much. Some people probably like that are watching this and in the comments can educate me a little bit. But I believe this is part of like, I think it was called Ghost Machine, where they introduced like Geiger, they introduced like 3 other characters, and then from there they created their own ongoing series. I'm not too sure, I haven't read it, so if anybody can fact check me on that. And these ones I'm leaving for last because I'm pretty excited. Rat City. This is basically Spawn 2099.
Okay.
Like, it's not Al Simmons. Al Simmons is not a Spawn. But for what I know, like I said, I haven't read it yet. He's like a mercenary, but he lost, or he was a soldier or something, but he lost like both his legs in a war and whatever. And they built this nanotech technology, but a hellspawn, like they haven't shown how they got a hellspawn in the nanotech.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, oh, we should give it to this dude. Maybe we'll see what happens. And that happens. Like, he gets like the spawn suit, but it looks like futuristic and shit. So I'm pretty excited to read these because I'm a huge Spawn fan. I love Spawn. So, like, those are the weekly pickups. I never pick up too many things at once because I don't want to get overwhelmed. Like, but these are the weekly picks for this week. If you guys want me to, like, read something that you recommend in the comments, like, oh, you should read this is good, just put it in the comments and I'll probably read it and give you like my honest opinion on it. I love comic books, like he said, that this is my thing. So yeah, if you guys want me to check something out, please let me know. I'll be glad to go to my local comic book shop. Shout out to Stargazer Comics here in Washington. I love every person that works there. They're so awesome. So thank you for all these. And yeah, I'll probably see you guys next week for my other picks because I pick everything weekly. So yeah.
I'm trying to do an episode. Even if he's not here, he can't make it. You know, we're in the army, so
yeah,
we might be in the field. We might miss a couple, but even if he's not here, I'm gonna still try to get weekly to y'all. Now the last topic, we're gonna make this quick, but it's called the Great Debate. Now, what you are about to see here, we might get loud, we might get angry.
I don't even know what he's talking about. He didn't tell me.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything. But every week is going to be a great debate. It's going to be a debate on two things that could or could not be conflicted. We might agree on it, and that could be the end of it, right?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
But today is going to be Marvel versus DC. Something simple, something easy. And it's not based off of anything. It's not. You can base it off a story if you want. You can base it off of artwork, movies, animation. You can base it on everything you want. But it's Marvel versus DC, and I want to know which side do you take.
Did you see a DC comic book here? Did you see one?
I mean, it should be one there.
Why would it?
Because DC has better comics.
I disagree.
That's crazy.
They have good stories, but
they have better comics, better stories, and better comics.
Oh, no, they don't.
I don't know how you don't.
No, they don't.
There's nothing in Marvel that's better than Killing Joke.
Than Killing Joke?
Yeah. There's nothing better than that story. There's nothing in Marvel better than Doomsday. The first issue when he kills Superman. Or Death of Superman. I'm sorry, Death of Superman. There's nothing better than Death of Superman.
Those are...
Marvel, the best Marvel got, honestly, is through X-Men. If you follow X-Men.
If you follow, which is impossible,
it's like,
apparently.
They have, X-Men probably has the best Marvel stories. Silver Surfer, Norman Reedus has some good ones. Ghost Rider has some good ones.
I can agree on, like, Marvel obviously doesn't have those, like... Iconic, like... It has
the
some...
Death of Robin?
It has some, but... Obviously, like, the death of Superman, that was, like, a huge deal.
But Robin, the creators asked for Robin, do you want him to die or not? And then people were so sad when he died. And
yeah.
It's one of the best, dog. There's no way. Now, I looked it up. The top selling, I think, is, in no particular order, because I can't remember, Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman. Those are the top sellers. I understand with Spider-Man, because Spider-Man, when you think of Marvel, you think of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Don't know why, but it is what it is.
That's another debate. There's not.
Oh, believe me, that debate's coming up.
Don't bring that up.
But I'm saying DC. Comic book wise, I'm giving it to DC. Now, you said Marvel. Now another thing I'm gonna bring up: villains.
Oh no.
I'm giving it. if I think of Spider-Man's rogues, right? Because he has the most iconic rogues out of all of them.
Yeah.
And then I think of Batman rogues. I don't know about you, but Batman rogues are...
Batman fights mentally ill people.
He fights Killer Croc. What do you think Goblin is? You think Goblin is sane? He's mentally ill. All the
Villains
Electro,
like
mentally ill.
if we're talking about Marvel villains and DC villains, bro, you have
Darkseid.
Doctor Doom,
Darkseid.
Magneto,
Doomsday.
Doomsday.
Doomsday's washing half of Marvel universe.
Bro, if I put Green Goblin up there, people are gonna know. Like if you put Doomsday, they're probably gonna be like, huh?
No, you put Doomsday. Oh, the motherfucker who killed Superman. That's exactly what they're gonna do.
No, they won't. Like if you have like normal people.
There's no Marvel character villain wise more popular than Joker. So let's get that out the way. To be honest,
Joker is
Batman's rogues is literally more popular than a lot of Marvel villains.
some of them.
Harley Quinn, Penguin.
They gave Harley Quinn too much.
Maybe in the movies, yeah, too
Yeah,
much.
too
But
much
she was
fun.
even popular in the comics, though.
I agree with that. I agree. But best
DC
villains?
has the best villains. I think the only people whose villains are like, is freaking. Oh, you didn't even start on Flash Rogue Gallery.
Flash. I don't know.
Flash is Rogue. I mean, Reverse Flash. Is
Reverse
one of my
Flash
favorite
is like
villains.
one of the
He's one of my favorite villains.
most recognizable ones.
So Reverse Flash. Nobody's gonna know Twister or Top.
Captain Boomerang. What the
Captain Boomerang.
frick?
Captain Cold. People know him because they get him confused with Mr. Freeze. So yeah, you have that. But I mean, with Batman, you got Killer Croc. You have all that. Superman, you have Brainiac. You got
With Spider-Man, you got Dr. Octopus.
Superman, you got global, or not even global. You have like universe threats with Superman and the Rogues. And I think people don't.
I mean, you have to. You can't give Superman like
But I think that's
anything
why,
less.
I think that's why people try to make it as a knock that Superman is so strong. No, he's a fucking superhero. That's what a superhero is supposed to be. Not supposed to be Peter Parker who struggles at school. No, it's supposed to be an actual superhero.
You always take a swing out of
Like,
Spider-Man is.
superhero.
There's a reason why Spider-Man is the top 3 bestseller names out there.
They're a bunch of dick writers, honestly.
No, it's not. You're always talking about Superman, like.
Oh my
Give
god!
me a
I can't
break.
stand this, man. And then,
Like I agree that DC might have like more like iconic characters.
like only people I could
but
think: Magneto, if you want to count him a villain. Doctor Doom,
Thanos,
Thanos, Green Goblin.
Doctor Octopus.
Doc, I'll give you Doc Ock, but he got popular
Apocalypse.
after the second movie of Tobey Maguire.
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse. I'm just talking about like popularity wise.
Well, popularity wise.
Popularity wise, you're only getting Green Goblin, Doc Ock, everybody who's in the movies. Honestly, that's all you're getting. Thanos.
Yeah, you can't get too many out of popularity.
Yeah, but if you're talking about just good, well thought out characters, then yeah, maybe like that many. Like I can count on 2 hands. Well, honestly, I'm being honest, DC wise, well thought out villains. Like for Wonder Woman is what Cheetah, Ares. I can't even think of nobody. A Toy Master, or is that Superman? I think that's Superman.
Maybe.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember.
I mean, Lex Luthor is pretty.
Oh yeah, Lex Luthor.
Lex
I totally
Luthor is
forgot
pretty
about
known.
Lex
It's
Luthor,
pretty
yeah.
known.
He's pretty known.
Like you put Lex Luthor on the
Everybody
screen
knows
and
him.
everybody was like, the Superman villain.
That bald motherfucker, yeah. But that's all they know him from. And then, like Green Lantern Corps, that's Sinestro, Atrocitus. But not many people know Atrocitus. I'm not even going to try to throw him out there.
Yeah.
Like people know.
Sinestro, I think that some people might know.
I think he's known, but they only know it's like the yellow lantern.
Yeah.
So like, they
It's
don't-
the dude with the yellow line.
Yeah, they don't know him like they should know him.
Agreed. No, you.
What's his name? Aquaman's villain, Black Manta.
Oh, Black Manta. Yeah.
I think he's pretty recognizable. I think that they just have more variety of villains. I think the problem with DC is that their villains are like OP as fuck, but they have to be because the heroes are.
Yeah.
or the heroes are OP, and then the villains are like these humans that get like these gadgets to just make them OP and shit.
No, I agree. I agree with you. Like,
Then you have heroes.
hey,
I don't want.
hey,
I want to shit on Marvel, but two heavy hitters over there sitting at DC right now with underwear on. Superman and Batman. That's two heavy hitters. You don't have two heavy hitters over at Marvel.
Batman sucks, by the way.
You don't actually. Okay, I'll give you before Marvel, Spider-Man, before the MCU, Spider-Man,
Yeah.
Hulk, and Wolverine were actually like crazy, like selling crazy.
Yeah.
Then Hugh Jackman came,
And then Hugh Jackman came, and
then Mark Ruffalo came, and the MCU came, and those sales would dip down so damn fast. I'm just letting you know that you guys are one-shot ponies. Spider-Man's your only hope. And to be honest, I can't wait for him to fall off either.
he's never gonna fall. Spider-Man is never gonna fall, especially now with this Ultimate reimagining.
I can't wait for him to fall off.
Not
But
happening.
heroes-wise, yeah, these. I mean, Marvel doesn't hold a candle to DC.
No, I agree. Like, I can defend Marvel in some things, but definitely not in this. Like DC has more like iconic stories and iconic like things happening in the universe and whatever.
Yeah,
Like with superhero, like the death of Superman, like you said, the Killing Joke and whatever, like the Dark Knight comic books, like all of those things, and animation wise, like they've been killing it with like these movies, like the like it's
I
fucking
do
insane.
think the X-Men '97 is probably the best thing animation-wise
Yeah, yeah.
Marvel has put out. I do not have a 10 out of 10 over animation-wise over at DC right now. I don't have a 10 out of 10 like anywhere.
But yeah, this debate is definitely more DC than anything.
Yeah, it's more DC. But I mean, those are the only two you can really compare to. Other debates would be more probably person-driven or character-driven.
Yeah, because you can't really say like, oh, Image Comics with Marvel.
Yeah,
Obviously,
Yeah.
but
That was it for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Once again, I'm your host, Kesus, with Carlos.
still working on my social media. So.
Yeah, he'll have that up for y'all where he posts comics and a little description about them. Don't worry, he'll have it up. We'll get it next time.
Yeah.
Again, this will be pre-recorded. I am posting it as a premiere. It'll probably be released tomorrow. I always try to do these episodes released the day after. I still have to edit it, go in, do other things. Just bear with me. But like I said, this is the Keep Up podcast where we keep you up with all of pop culture, anime, manga, superhero news. All right, peace.